They're gonna kick you out.
What? Why?
Recording in here.
No. Oh, I'm gonna get kicked out and fined. Better put it this way. Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh WRB here, bringing you another review, and today I'm very happy to bring you the Goon, the Last of the Enforcers review, because I've been super highly anticipating this movie for like 12 years since the first one came out. I was like, when the hell are they going to make a sequel for this? Because this is my wife and I, this is like our movie together, the first one. So it's our favorite movie to just put on whenever and watch all the time. She is upset, like we as a couple are obsessed with hockey, watch it all the time. She loves goons in the sport, and this movie, the first movie, just like encompassed that so perfectly. So I was so excited to see this one, and I knew, like, man, you got some big shoes to fill, because Jay Baruchel wrote the first one but did not direct it, and this is his first movie he's directing, and I'm super excited to see that. Being like a filmmaker myself, like obviously not a big filmmaker or anything like that, but just like that is where my passion and everything lies, is with filmmaking and stuff like that. So he did a Q&A after, and I will get to the Q&A after this review. I asked him a question about directing, and it was like the answer I got I could not be happier about, because he literally described my whole childhood and my whole life to me, and it just inspired me so much more to make this next short film that we have coming up. And I'm just like, I'm grinning ear to ear today. Just I'm so excited just for film and for everything. So let's get to Goon, Last of the Enforcers review. Everything you want as a fan of the first one, you get in spades from this one. All the characters' jokes that you overly enjoyed in the first one, they took and like added like 150 more. The amount of laughs in this movie, I was laughing out loud the whole time. And this movie was definitely made for the fans of the first one. Like I don't know if it caters too much to the fans, but that's exactly what I think this type and this style of movie should do. Is he listens to the fans and he knows what they want, and he said that's why he spent so much time really hashing out this story to make sure that it was as perfect as he could make it before he made this movie. And I agree, it was really, really well done. So in the first one, where you get the characters like arcs and stuff, instead of it copying it completely, he stripped away things that their strengths that they had in the first one. He took that as something to strip away from this one and make it a little harder for those character arcs to happen in the second one. So obviously Sean William Scott gets hurt, or Doug Glatt in the movie, he gets hurt and he can't fight anymore. So I'm just laughing out loud thinking of what TJ Miller did in this movie. He was just they literally got like the Sportsnet desk and one of the announcers from Sportsnet to be in the movie as well, alongside with TJ Miller beside him, just saying the most random, stupid, ridiculous things that would never obviously air on a sports show. The amount of swears and vulgar humor in this, like, you obviously go in, if you have seen or know the first one, you go in knowing that there's going to be an abundance of that, and there is way more than the first one. And the amount of gore and just how like stylized they made the fight sequences, like, just it was almost like Sam Raimi style blood coming out every punch and stuff. It was so funny. It just like, it took the first one and just elaborated completely on it. It's he said that this storyline after the fact, like, because it took 12 years to make, so I didn't know when in the like actual timeline he was making this movie, but he said after in the Q&A that it was set 5 years into the future, or 5 years after the first one was made. So he got asked if, well, I'll just show the Q&A after. It's hard to see any downfalls for me because I'm such a fan of everything to this. Being Canadian, this movie is only being released right now in Canada, I heard, and then it is being released in the States and stuff, I think 2 months from now. So I got to see this super early, being obviously in Canada. This is made by a Canadian for Canadians, pretty much, because it's a movie about hockey, and not everyone likes hockey. But being from Calgary, there's the Flames blanket right there. Like, I'm obsessed with hockey all the time. And the Flames have won 10 in a row. This is insane. This is like my favorite time of the year. Playoffs are coming up. A new Goon movie. I can't be happier. This movie was so fun. The only downfall I saw was they really like. I loved Eva in the first one, and it seemed like because she was pregnant in this one and kind of she got pushed off to the side, so her character really didn't have as much fun stuff as what she had in the first one. But they took Alicia Cuthbert and all the fun stuff that Eva's character had in the first one, they just kind of gave to Alicia Cuthbert's character in this one, so she got to be the drunk crazy one, and she's her sister in this, so it makes sense, I guess. But that was like the only downfall. I really wanted Eva to have more of a role in this movie as well, even though she's what brings the heart to this movie. There's actually a lot more heart to this movie than I thought there was going to be, a lot more than the first one. But it is still super funny. If you're a fan of the first one, like I said, you're going to definitely be a fan of this one. It's getting 5.5 out of 6 from me. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. And I'm so happy that Jay Baruchel was there for a Q&A as well. I just think it's really cool that he's touring it around Canada to the fans of the actual movie. And I just had such a great time. This is like one of the most fun times I've had at the movies in a long time. And not just because I am super stoked at stuff. So let's get to the Q&A. I'm going to cut down the Q&A because it is like, I think I got like 10 to 15 minutes of footage from it. So I'll cut it down to the best answers that he gave. And yeah, hope you enjoy.
Yes. In my family, Halifax in Nova Scotia was kind of our ancestral home. My mom is 6 of 8 kids. She's only the second Quebecer in her family. The rest of her brothers and sisters, both her parents, both sets of grandparents, all Halifax. We go back there for a long time. Literally, Farewell to Nova Scotia is one of the first lullabies Mom ever sung to me. So I've always grown up with this affinity for East Coast culture, Nova Scotia in particular, and it's just something that is very magical, special, romantic in my family. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to root against Maritimers. And also, if you've ever been, it's one of the most colorful parts of the world. It's wicked. So that'd be why, because my grandparents are from there, I guess. Yeah. Oh no, the China dogs. Yes. Good question. Yeah, what is up with the China dogs? So that's really okay. So. That's based on a true story, actually, which is a strange way to start that answer. My writing partner, Jesse, he moved furniture with his Uncle Randall for 17 years and would do various odd jobs. And one of the odd jobs that Randall found was, for fucking whatever reason, he'd go door to door selling China dogs for this Lithuanian guy called Ivan Oskis, who only paid them in paintbrushes. I swear to God. So believe it or not, this is the most normal version of that story, because I'm not being paid in paintbrushes. But yeah, he went door to door in the poorest neighborhood in Montreal selling China dogs. Yeah, obviously they didn't get many takers, because like who wants those things anyway? But yeah, that's where they come from, China dogs.
Do you prefer directing over acting?
Oh, immensely, 100%. Not even a question for me. Like, acting's been real good to me, and I've been able to have an awesome life, and so has my mom and my sister because of it, and I have a great respect for it. But it has never been my raison d'etre. It's never been the first thing I think about when I wake up. Directing actually has. Directly seeing movies, shots, characters, whatever in my head since I was a little kid. That's like what saved my life. This is what I thought about on the bus on the way to school, when I was bored in class, when shit was going poorly. I could either think of movies or go watch movies. It's like one of the only things that I really feel a burning compulsion to be a part of. You know, like I think I'm not the world's worst actor. I don't think I'm the best either. Either way, I don't have the burning desire to be any better than I already am, is my point. But I will spend my life trying to make better movies. As long as people want me to, and I'm allowed to. But yeah, this is all I've ever wanted.
Fucking do it.
Two reasons why Pat's in this movie. 3 reasons why Pat's in this movie, Liz. I'm directing. I don't love my performances, and I'd like to work with better actors than me. And number three, I swear to God, I listen to my audience. Like, he's a very polarizing person, and I understand that. And after the first flick, people were very free to tell me that. Like, it was 50-50. 50% of people were like, oh man, Pat's hilarious. 50% were like, he's the Jar Jar Binks of Goon. So, what, are you booing Jar Jar, are you booing me, or are you booing those people? Why? But yeah, so I'm not so vain as to feel the need to cram myself down people's throats. I find Pat funny. I get to dress like an idiot and wear stupid hats and say really dumb stuff. But yeah, he's in it less because I was directing the movie and I didn't want to be more Jar Jar Binks than I had to.
Brought the F-bomb down.
Just a bit.
Any more?
As a writer, how did you balance the comedy with the sports with like the emotion?
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for calling me a writer. That's very nice. A lot of people might see that movie and take issue with that. That's the gamble. That's the whole thing. That's the whole work. And I don't know that you ever figure out exactly the ratio until it's done. It's constantly playing with levels and ideas. So it's more, we know what the movie has to be. If it's this movie, it has to be hard, has to be funny, you gotta feel something too. And so, and if there's scenes that, or if there's moments, if the movie goes on too long without any one of those things, it's not a fucking Goon movie. And so we would give ourselves time limits. There could never be more than X amount of scenes before some action happened. There could be never more than X amount of scenes before something fun happened. There could be never more than X amount of scenes before something important happened. And what I am most proud of is, I think, the moments where we do those three things at once. But yeah, it's all levels, and you try, when you're shooting it in the laboratory or sandbox of set, you do some real crazy big stuff, you do some real weird, small, nuanced stuff, and sometimes you put those two things together and you get some weird energy that you wouldn't see in other movies.
Time for one more. Yeah.
What else was in the semen sandwich?
Good question. So that was a group effort. That was like a pretty cool day on set where after lunch everyone knew John had to eat a sandwich, and so we all decided to make him as miserable as we could. Sean was wrapped 4 hours before we shot that scene, and he stuck around just to mess with Jonathan's sandwich. So what we did was, it became so stupid. It became like everyone got incredibly invested. It was sadly much more invested in that than they were in other parts that I think were probably more important. But so we took a sandwich. We put it starts with a sandwich. Crazy. We started with a sandwich. Not worthy mentioning that. Half a shaker of salt. Like 3/4 of a bottle of fucking like malt vinegar or what? And then very generous helpings of like Hellman's or Miracle Whip. And when it came time for Putzo to bite the fucking thing, there was like 60 people huddled around the monitors. Like, never before or after, nothing was ever as interesting that day. And so when he bites it and he's repulsed, it's because he's just eaten the world's grossest, slimy, savory bit of garbage. So there you go.
Jay, one more time.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
So I hope you enjoyed that Q&A. That's all I got for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to click this video you see on the screen. You might actually like it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Have a nice day, guys.